What's up, y'all? We back with another episode of Defy Your Legacy. You already know what time it is. All right. Again, I'm your host, Theus Elijah. And today we got Herb on the show. What's up, Herb, man? Talk to me, bro. How you doing, man?
Doing well, man. Doing well. How about you?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I noticed, first approach on the show, you're very calm right now. And that's, sometimes that's you and sometimes that's not, man. So is everything good on your earth, man? How you doing?
It's actually crazy too. I think the only reason why I'm calm right now is because it's hot.
Mm,
I
okay,
can't be
okay.
moving around too much when it's 97 degrees up.
Right. And I respect that. It's hot. You wearing a hoodie though. I'm wearing a long sleeve, but I think that's because we're both representing respective brands, right? One time for UConn on my side, bleed blue to the day I die, which leads me into you. What you got? What you got going on?
Well, I'm wearing my I had to wear my stuff. I wasn't going
No,
to. I thought about it. Like I'm about to be on the podcast talking about my stuff. So why not wear it?
nice.
But I don't know, man. I feel like this has been a rough year for me, but I try to maintain focus. I try to remember what my main purpose is and try to stick to a routine. So I feel like I've been consistent with that within the past like 3 weeks. So I'm just trying to keep that going, man.
Mm. So I mean, we just jump right in. So what would you say? You talk about purpose. What would you say your main purpose is?
It's gonna sound cliche, but probably becoming a better me,
Mm.
whether it's on a physical level, whether it's on a spiritual level and a mental level. And I feel like emotionally, like I feel like a lot of people talk about wanting to achieve all different aspects of that, but they don't really know how to get there.
Mm.
And for me, I feel like the most important thing for me is the physical aspect. If I look good, I feel good, and it helps me dive into other aspects of myself. So whether it's waking up 4:15 every day, going to the gym at 5, when I do that, I'm up now. I'm awake. My body is alive. So now I could be a lot more productive in the morning rather than sleeping all morning and then waking up 30 minutes before work or an hour before work. I don't really do nothing for me. So that taps into other aspects of my life. So that's pretty much it.
So where's the motivation you would say behind waking up that early? Because there's always obviously the alternative of just sleeping in. So is there something that you feel that's been pushed you to keep you consistent? How's that?
Um, I feel like what's been pushing me is like I've been trying to do this for the past 3 years, bro.
Mm.
And 3 years ago, if I was consistent, who knows where I would have been now? So I'm like, I could keep sitting here saying I want to do something, I want to do something, I want to do something. But a lot of people do this thing where it's like, okay, I'm gonna start next month. Nah, start like literally right now while you can. And I feel like for me, like just kind of keeping that discipline, trying to remember that if I don't wake up today and I skip the gym today, I'm only cheating myself. It's not bothering nobody but myself. And I have a purpose, I have a goal. So in order to get to that goal, you have to stay consistent. So that's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
And that reminds me of like this commercial, like when we were growing up, I remember it. And this guy was on the television talking about like community college. And he
Mhm.
would joke about like, some people talking about it. And then he would end the commercial with no, do it right now. And at the time, I think people would laugh at him saying like he's always saying that, but it's true.
Right.
Like manifesting, saying certain things, speaking into existence. I think, those are all good things. But at some point, action needs to be taken, right? It's like it's good to talk all that, but at some point you got to realize, all right, I got to put some action behind my words. So it sounds as if you've kept that up, and you've noticed what you said. You mentioned about 3 years ago. You've noticed that and you made the necessary changes to becoming a better person. So
Yeah.
respect to you on that.
The thing about it too is like I'm big on. So I guess my main drive is like the person I dreamed about being, the man I dreamed about being as a child. Like I want to be him now, but that takes practice, And I'm big on accountability. I'm big on working on my character flaws and my trauma. And I feel like a lot of times now we pride ourselves on like there's like this new culture where people pride themselves on being heartless, and can't nobody change me, whatever the case may be. But they don't really understand the trickle effect of that. You only affecting yourself and other people around you. Like if you know that you haven't been the best in relationships, or you haven't been the best to your friends or your family, recognize that, figure out why, and then go to therapy. Like, go to therapy, read. Like there's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like for me, that helped me open up different avenues of my life. Like I was very stubborn for the longest time. Like one day I thought I was gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna wake up one day and I'm gonna be a whole new man. Like that's not how life works. Like you have to, any companionship that you in, any friendship that you in, you have to understand why they didn't work. Whether you feel like it was your fault or not, figure out what you could have done better. You know what I'm saying? Not even just when it comes to family and friends, but even with your craft. Even if you start something and you don't finish it, figure out why you didn't finish it. You know, so I'm just big on trying to understand, because I feel like people are puzzles. You know what I'm saying? And you trying to master life is figuring out what piece goes with which when it comes to yourself. And then I feel like life, it starts from the beginning to the end. It's always a ongoing puzzle with yourself. So the way I see it is kind of just being the person to try to figure out what goes where and why this goes here and why this goes here. So that's pretty much it, bro.
So, what do you think contributes to some of the decisions that you might take, towards trying to complete your own puzzle, if you will?
Some of the decisions, well, my decisions come from like, I think about it like this. I'm very logical. So like, if I had a child, what would I be telling them to do?
Mm.
And I just kind of take that. I take my own advice. That's pretty much it. It's just as simple as that, man. And I think about like the consequences of certain things, right? So I think about like, if I do make this decision, what is the best outcome and what's the worst outcome? And what has more leverage? So if I have more to risk with the bad outcome, I'm just going to do it. If I have more to gain, then I'll just go on my gut. So,
yeah. And I mean, you live with all the decisions that you make. I think people say like life is short, but the fact of the matter is, I think it's more of life is unexpected. So like, yes, you can always take crazy decisions with the mindset of life being short, but if you're doing, good and bad, right? Good and bad decisions, like you're gonna have to live with them. Right. But I want to, so tell me throughout all this, you talk about, you're continuing to build on yourself day in and day out. Where did you come up with the idea to originally start your own business?
To be honest, bro, it wasn't even supposed to be a business at first. I was somebody that like, I've always been into fashion, but the things that I would want to wear, people didn't really make. That makes sense. So I would always look at like a jacket and be like, yo, this would be dope if it was this color. You know what I'm saying? It would be dope if it was this fabric. So I kind of just woke up one day, started sketching and just hit up a manufacturer and got my first project done. And it was very rewarding when I got that project back and people actually liked it. I was like, oh, okay, like people like this stuff. And it took for my boys to tell me like, yo, make something everybody can get their hands on. So I was like, all right, cool. So I kind of just came up with some simple stuff and came out with a hoodie. And I actually did a lot better than I expected. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I can actually make profit off of this. I just feel like the biggest struggle with doing that is with the business aspect of it. Like when you make your passion to a business, you start to lose your creative process. And sometimes that can be annoying. Because once you lose a passion for something, you kind of just throw it to the side. But I didn't want to do that with this. But it would get difficult when you felt like you had to be consistent. Like this never was supposed to be a business. It was more just me being able to express myself through clothes. But then once, people convinced me to make it a business, I actually started to take it seriously somewhat. But then I started to realize I was designing for other people rather than myself. Yeah. So I had to take myself back a little bit and just remember my roots of fashion and be like, you know what, like forget what everybody else is saying. Do what you feel like is right.
Would you say that's been a good thing then? And because my original question, even before that, was going to be, who are you doing it for? Not even legacy part. I won't even touch on that, but just in terms of the overall brand, was it for you or was it to provide something or something of value for everyone else?
Before it was just for me. I feel like now it's more of I want to be able to be that stamp. I want to be able to represent, younger creatives. I feel like the older generation, like they never really had representation. They never had 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds being able to have access to the things that we have access to. And like now I have the opportunity to actually show people like, yo, you can design if you want, you can sing if you want, you can do this if you want. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be that representing piece so that when I have children, they can see that I did it. You know, I feel like a lot of people don't take their passions as serious as they should because they don't feel like it's reasonable. You know, but I feel like I want to be that stamp for people. You know what I'm saying? So especially being from Connecticut too, you know how that goes. So
Facts. You know, and the support is definitely there. But I mean, the good thing that I wanted to applaud you on is the lane and the continued support and growth that you've had. You know, I think as you mentioned before, there's, you know, just the idea of representation matters. But sometimes people might get discouraged because like, oh, you know, this isn't a common, you know, goal or a common dream. But it's like, yo, we in 2021, there's very few things that's common nowadays. So as long as you kind of adapt and, you know, and stick with it. But I want to make sure that we say loud and clear. Can you say the actual name of your brand so that people can go?
oh yeah. Brand name is Lew Perry, Lew space Perry. Ain't really nothing too special. It just comes from my full name, Herbert Lewis Perryman. So I kind of just broke it down. I was like, you know, this kind of rolls off the tongue well. So I just kept it at that.
So how was that first moment though, when you first saw it in person and you were like, this is mine? Did you have a moment where it was like, cause I mean, obviously, you know, dreams like are nice, you know what I'm saying? And it, you know, manifestation, all that, like I said before, it's cool. But when you saw it, did you have like a moment where it's like, yo, like it's time, it's here? Or was it just like, all right, you know?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I cried, man.
Yeah.
I cried because it was like my whole life, like I never felt like I achieved something. And even though I have, like, I always compared myself to other people, which I don't do no more. But it was like, yo, I never really accomplished anything. And then once I got my first project back, I was like, yo, this is mine. Like I did this, you know. And I don't know, it was just rewarding. It feels good to wear your own stuff, man.
Yeah, and that's so crazy too, because that's like before you even made a first sale, which I think is even dope, because it's like you're not crying that like, oh yeah, you know, we made a bunch of money or like we sold or whatever. Yeah. It's like the time is here. Like you cried over ownership. That's what it sounds like. You cried over and got emotional over something that belonged to you. It was deeper than just, you know, currency.
Yeah.
You feel me? Right, it belongs to you. And that's what I want everyone to understand. It's like money is nice, you feel me? You know, but having something that no one can take away from you, there's like, there ain't, you know what I'm saying, too many things you can kind of put on that pedestal.
Right.
So that, I mean, that's definitely some fire stuff, bro. But talk to me though about like the support you had from your friends and your family when you either first presented them with the idea or they said like, yo, you should definitely do this. Don't waste time.
Okay. So it's funny because it goes hand in hand. So my mom, you know, single parent, you know, we wasn't the most fortunate, but we made it work. So when I first told her I wanted to do this, obviously she's a little hesitant because she's built off the mindset, you better save your money, starting a business. What you mean starting? You know what I'm saying? So when I first told her, like, and I told her how much money I was putting into it, she looked at me like I was crazy. And I didn't get discouraged because I know she loves me. You see my mom was really supportive. You know?
Right. Of course. It
was just more of a worry thing.
Yeah.
But once she started to actually see what I was bringing home, like the production and all that type of stuff, she was like, wow, like my son's talented. And, you know, people are buying his stuff. Like, it's a thing now. And I was like, and she, you know, she kind of just started to accept it. My boys, on the other hand, my boys are actually extremely supportive. But they're more of the business aspect rather than the creative process. And that's where we kind of like conflict with each other, right? So one of my boys, he's sick in the head for money, right? It's not a bad thing, but he's sick in the head for money, right? So he tells me
after we stop recording, let me know who he is so we get him.
Oh yeah, no, I got you. Yeah. So he was telling me, he was like, yo, you need to market more. And I'm telling him like, yo, bro, like this piece I'm not as passionate about. Like I don't want to, like the way I wanted to market it, I can't do that right now. So once I have a plan that I want to stand by, if I'm not doing that plan,
Mm,
I don't want to do it. That's just how
mm,
I am as a creative. Because
mm,
I'm very critical of my work because
mm.
I treat it like my baby.
Right.
It's like, nah, bro, those are fire. Just put them out. Blah blah blah. Like do this, do that. I'm like, nah. And then like they'll tell me like, nah, bro, you don't want it. I'm like, how you gonna tell
Mm,
me I don't want it if I'm putting my own money into it? Like, bro, I put so much chicken into this, bro. So it's like that's what we conflict on now. But now they understand. They understand now that it's more of a creative thing for me. So
yeah. Well, I'm
it's,
gonna say this. So one, that's a good thing that you have him in your corner,
yeah,
even on the no, you don't want it bad enough.
right, yeah. I mean, it's telling you.
But it sounds, and that's the interesting thing too, is like being a person when it's your brand. It's like it has to be right. It has to be perfect, right? Because it's mine. Like I don't want no mistakes. You know, whatever we post, it's gonna be tip top shape, 10 out of 10.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's like some people have an approach like, yo, no matter, we gotta market this thing. Everybody gotta know about it. We
Right.
posting every day, 5 times a day. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care it. So talk to me about, you know, not necessarily future launches and future drops, but
Mhm.
just overall personal strategy in terms of I want everyone to know about this, regardless of how, versus the people that do know about this. I want them to know that it is the best thing available. If that
So I think that gets a little difficult because fashion is like it goes through waves. Like now, fashion is not even about what you're making; it's about the story behind your pieces.
mm,
I've seen
mm,
people like no shade, but I've seen people put out some trash.
mm,
And we talking about like famous people, but because they have that backing behind them, they know people, they network, it's gassed up. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, I feel like I got to get more out of my comfort zone.
mm.
Like I've never been the person to hit somebody else up to wear my stuff. I've never been the person to hit somebody else up to promote my stuff. Like it's just more I want it to happen organically, but I can't do that if I'm not putting myself in uncomfortable situations, you know?
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm very confident in my work,
Mm,
100%. Like that's something I'm not insecure about, but it's more just getting my name out there,
mm-hmm,
especially being from Connecticut, bro, is extremely difficult
mm-hmm.
when you're somebody who likes to keep to themselves
Yeah,
when it comes to business specifically. Um, so I think that's the avenue that I want to work on this year. Like that's actually a goal I wrote down. Like
for sure.
be more open to networking.
Yeah. The tough part though sometimes about like networking and marketing is that there's a very thin line when it starts to become like theater
Yeah.
slash like rehearse, where it's like you got a product that's fire,
Mhm.
but then it's like I'm not trying to be the guy that's like in everybody DM slash hitting everybody up like, yo, can you show up? And my thing is I don't think it's thirsty,
Mhm.
especially if you got something that's bringing value.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's tough.
But you know the tricky thing also too, like especially for what I'm designing, like you got people that will want you to put things out, then they see that price and they're like, nah, I'm all set. But it's funny though, because these are the same people that will spend money to buy other things.
Hang on, man. You're gonna piss some people off.
I'm being honest though. Like
I
here's
know
the
you
thing.
are. I know you are.
I'd rather somebody tell me like, yo, I don't like your stuff enough to spend that amount of money. I
Mm,
can't get upset. I can get upset with that because you personally don't feel like you want to spend this money for something that you don't like, right?
mm,
But don't tell me like, yo, this is fire, this is fire, this is fire, but the cost is too much.
mm,
Don't say that because when you fill my bag, it's gonna be 100% cowhide leather.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like the production pieces, people don't even know what goes into production, bro. Like I'll give you a perfect example. My first jacket I ever designed,
mm.
I spent almost $600 for that. Right now, if I wanted to sell that jacket and make profit, I had all rights to sell it for at least a rack.
Mm.
But if I would have sold it for a rack, people would have looked at me like I was crazy. You know why? Because I'm a local dude from Connecticut. Now, hypothetically speaking, say I would have got say an athlete wearing that. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like say like a Chris Paul. Say I got him wearing that. Now all of a sudden my product's worth it because he wore it. And that's the thing that is funny about fashion now. It's not even about what you're making, bro. It's about who is putting it on. And I'm not gonna shit on no other brand here, so I ain't gonna do that. But there's so much I
was about to say, go ahead and do it. I was
yeah,
like,
there's so much, there's so much, but I ain't gonna hate because I feel like certain brands could put out trash because they've earned that. They've earned it. You know what I'm saying? I actually want to get to a point where if I just want to come up on a quick 20,000, I'm like, let me put out a trash ass t-shirt, knowing the fact it's gonna sell out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when you know you've made it. You know what I'm saying? When you have a hoodie that is just flimsy ass cotton, but it says Balenciaga on it, you flip that shit for 700. That's when you know you made it. You know, so I'm not gonna disrespect, but I just feel like now when people try to talk to me about fashion and pricing, I don't respect a lot of people's opinions about fashion, so I don't listen. And I think that's my problem. Like once I feel like you don't take fashion as seriously as I do, I don't take advice from you. You know, so it's like my bag I just designed. Like that's probably like my favorite piece. It's my first accessory. It's one of my favorite pieces. It cost a lot of money to make that bag. That bag I only sold for 300. I should have sold it for no less than 800. Because if that bag had a different name on it, it would have been sold for a rack. You know, but I wanted everybody to get their hands on it. And, you know, when people actually bought it and they got it, it was like, yo, you know what? You should have sold this for more. But my thing is like, I shouldn't have, because if I would have put that price up, I would have had a whole bunch of people saying, I can't wait for you to drop. Then you drop, and then now you don't get it. Exactly. So I don't know, man. It's a tricky game, but you just gotta keep up with it.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, you know, eventually it turns, you know, into theater. Yeah. So like, but what would you say if you had to choose one of these two, right? Sales or exposure?
Exposure.
Why is that?
Sales gonna die out eventually. Because you can sell something that's dope in the moment, but say your next project is not as dope as the one that sold a lot. What you gonna do? True. So say like you put out something that you don't even feel like is the best. Say I release something this fall, and then my spring collection is actually better than my fall collection. I'm still gonna sell the same exact weight if I have that exposure. It don't matter. You know how many people put on nonsense, bro? Yo, people were putting on caution tape because it said Off-White on it. You remember that, bro? Like, I know you remember that.
Remember?
Yes. You remember? Like, yes. It was putting on caution tape. Yeah. That said Off-White on it. You know what I'm saying? So, like.
But you know what, though? Let me ask you them too on top of that.
Yeah.
How important is integrity to you? And the reason why I asked that is because obviously, look, we live in a world now where everybody's trying to make money. Everybody's trying to get to the bag, right? But do you ever plan on adjusting? I won't say corny because I know you never stoop that low. But would you ever adjust to the times where it's like, you know what? I realize that we're living in an era where uncool is cool. So would you ever stoop that low to say, you know what, I'm gonna make some adjustments?
You talking about in terms of like what I'm designing?
Yeah, what you're designing.
I don't design nothing I wouldn't wear. And I don't care, like, bro, you would never see me design no fanny pack. I wouldn't wear it. For me, like, I'm expanded a little bit when it came to fashion. Like, I used to be a preppy dude. Now I'm a little bit more like, I'm trying to dive in the streetwear a little bit, but nah, if I wouldn't wear it, I'm not designing it. That's just what it is. I don't care how much. I don't care how much people like it. I'm all set on that.
So why is fashion important to you?
I mean, the main thing why fashion is important to me, I told you, physical appearance is one of my biggest things. Like, what up, Mom? But it's just important to me because like it made me feel good. You know what I'm saying? Physical appearance. So I feel like fashion is a big piece of that. Also, too, like, not to be cocky, but I'm handsome. So if I'm handsome, like, I gotta have things on my body that match that. Okay. I'm just being honest. Like, yo, for real, like, I give you a perfect example. There's celebrities out here that physically they probably don't look the best, but what they wearing brings them to a whole different level. Fashion literally tells your story. Yeah. Literally 85% of the time. Not all the time, because, you know, you might catch somebody on an off day, but 85% of the time, bro, it tells a lot about you. What shoes you got on, the quality of your t-shirts, simple stuff, your jewelry you got on.
Yeah, that first impression is an impression that, can never be repeated.
Right. It's a way to demand respect without asking for it.
So, I like that. So do you ever, are you able to, like, when you see another person, man or woman, right, before you're ready to establish or engage in a conversation, are you able to kind of predict the conversation you're going to end up having with them based off what they're wearing?
You talking about like with my brand?
No, I'm sorry, not aside from your brand.
So
just in general, just overall fashion.
Yeah, ask it one more time so I can understand it.
So basically, when someone is wearing something outside of your brand, right? Mm-hmm. Based off what it is specifically that they're wearing, are you able to predict / guess how that conversation is going to go, if you will?
It all depends. This sounds so crazy, but I wouldn't say I could predict the conversation. I just kind of could tell who you are. Like if you got expensive sneakers on, but you don't know how to walk in them, like I know you just buying shit just because it's expensive. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question, actually.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
That's a great question. Wow. Now
are you a fan of when people wear things just because they're expensive?
I mean, am I a fan of it? I wouldn't say I'm not a fan. I just feel like, you got to remember, people see expensive things as status symbols. So if that's what you feel like you need to put on to feel confident, by all means, do it. To be honest, like I think I'll give you a perfect example. Like one of my biggest goals, right? Of this year is every sample I release, allocating another sample to my dad. My dad is like a strict military dude. We ain't really had the best relationship growing up, but now we're working on it. And I feel like he got in the car with me the other day, and like he had this little tight t-shirt on with some little nice slacks. First time I ever seen him with some nice shit on, and he felt good, bro. Like I came like he felt good. Like you can really look at him and just tell like he just felt good. He had his little Prada glasses on, Versace glasses, whatever he had on, and he felt good. So like for me, like my goal is to make sure he keeps feeling like that. So I'm about to put him in something that feels expensive. I'm about to put him in lambskin because he don't even know what that feel like. And I'm gonna tell him like, yo, this is lambskin. This is expensive. And when you know something is expensive, you feel better. That's just what it is. So
does he know that you're getting ready to do this?
You said what?
I said, does he know that you're getting ready to do this?
He has no idea. He has no idea.
Oh, that's lit.
He has no idea. I'm about to just start dropping things off to him. That's all. I'm like, yo, dad, you know how much this is? This is how much I paid for it. This is lambskin. This is that. Like, so like it brings another level of confidence out. And not only does it bring a level of confidence out, but this is his son doing this. So, for him to walk around and be like, yo, I got some fly shit on, and this is my son's, like, it's gonna bring him to a whole different level of fatherhood.
Oh, I can only imagine, because if his folks ask him like, damn, player, where you get that? My son made it. That hits.
Exactly, bro. So
that hits.
That's one of my goals for actually that's actually the goal for the rest of my life, man. Whatever I make, I'm gonna put my dad in.
That hits.
I feel like that's our way to kind of stay connected. So.
Facts. That hits. That's special, bro. That's special, man. That's some real stuff. You almost made me here, man. That's some special stuff, man. So, but with your whole, your brand as a whole, is it something that people can access? Is it just online? Is it like how, if someone wants to kind of, get in contact with it, how does that all work?
For the most part, everything I have available is online. Well, pieces I still want to sell. I still have pieces that I have inventory in, but I just don't like them no more, so I just won't sell it. But if somebody DM me like, yo, do you have anything? I'm like, yo, all right, I got this, and that. But, things I really want to be seen right now by the public is what's on my brand. I mean, it's what's on my website. That's pretty much it.
So let me ask you something too. Did you ever was there ever a moment where you had to decide putting like your actual name or the name of your brand on a piece of clothing versus going with a logo, if that makes sense?
Oh, yeah, man. I struggle with that sometimes because I want people to know it's my stuff.
Right. That's yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. Sometimes like like I said, you gotta just go with your gut, man. Like if you find a concept that works, like at that point, it don't even matter whether people know it's you or not. It's just being able to have the satisfaction that people like it and putting it on. I think like what I'm trying to do for the next year, I do want to kind of come out with more pieces that just got my logo on it, so people just know it's mine. So like no matter where you see that, whether you in LA, Texas, Atlanta, you know it's mine. But I'm gonna still stick with like certain concepts and things like that. But I'm also gonna release multiple things that just have Lou on it. Whether it's a hat, whether it's a bag, all that.
Yeah. Get it spread all around the state and the country.
Same thing, like for example, like Prada. Like Prada, like I don't know. There's a lot of pieces that Prada has designed that just says Prada on it. Like literally, most things you find Prada.
Just the word. That's so crazy, yo. You ever think about that?
Yeah, bro.
Like
all the time I
the
think about
name.
But you know what it is? The logo, the delivery of the logo is stupid. All it says is Prada, but that font is just different, bro. Like literally, bro. Like, see where your Nike sign is right there?
Yeah.
Replace that with Prada.
Right here.
I swear you can flip that shirt for $500 to $600. I swear, bro.
That's so crazy.
Brands are even doing that now. Like, I don't know if you look, but like a lot of luxury designers, all they're doing is taking like NBA teams, NFL teams, and just putting their logo on those hoodies and flipping it for like $700, bro. It's crazy.
Bro, the flipping game is getting crazy.
Bro, don't get me started on that,
bro. Get me started. What you mean? Bro, I mean, if you know something, by all means, please.
It's actually crazy because I'm not in terms of sneakers, like I get why people do it. But to be honest, as a designer, bro, it's kind of flattering. Because it gives your brand more exposure, bro. Because if people are trying to flip your stuff, when you come out with something, everybody gonna try to get their hands on it. You're gonna sell out every time. It don't even matter.
Okay.
So from a business perspective, it's dope. But
all right. So when I hear flipping sneakers, I think, all right, I'm like, you only flip sneakers that are sold out, right? Like it don't make no sense to buy something. So do these designer brands, the products that get flipped clothes wise, they're already sold out from the retail? Or like, are people flipping these products while folks can still buy them online? Because that doesn't make any sense to me.
No. They're most likely they're like, so a lot of brands have like MOQ. So the MOQ is like a minimum of pieces you can get from your manufacturer. A lot of brands are content with just doing an MOQ. So say you are a brand and you only release 200 to the country. Like if you sold out, people gonna spend the money to get their hands on it. I give for example, like the whole like McDonald's Travis Scott thing. Like, bro, people are flipping it crazy. But the reason why is because it's not easy to get your hands on it now. So for me, it's like if I was a designer, I wouldn't even care, because from a business perspective, because I know every time I drop, somebody is going to try to buy my stuff up. And a lot of times, if I'm doing it for the income, I don't care who's buying it. I don't care who's buying it. If I'm making my money back, I don't care who is buying it. I think the only time where it would matter who's buying it, I feel like for me, or no, the only time I would give people really access to buy it, like who's really down for the brand, or whether they're just trying to flip it, is if like I did like a pop-up shop. So if I did like a pop-up shop, people who actually really, really like my stuff, they'll pull up. They'll pull up and they'll actually come and support or do whatever. But a lot of people who resell things, they don't even like what they're reselling. They're just buying it to make money off.
Oh yeah, at that point, it's just a business. I don't think it's more. I don't think it's a. Oh yeah, I really like this. Let me get involved with flipping it. Nah, I think it's just let me get a part of the hustle.
I think
that's crazy, bro.
I think the hard thing about it too, though, is like trying to figure out who your true audience is, though. You have people that are just buying things up. People have bots, so they're buying up all your stuff. You don't know who your audience is, especially when you're up and coming. You know, so I think that would be my biggest issue with it, just because I don't know who's wearing my stuff. I like to know who's wearing it. I like to know like what support I'm getting, where I'm getting my support from. So
Okay, so who would you want to be your target audience?
that's a hard question. Damn, that's a hard
You
question.
can't say everybody. No.
Yeah, no, I don't want everybody.
Yeah, everyone, should wear.
I'm not gonna lie, like no disrespect. I ain't actually I don't really care, just me being honest. I'm not about that. I don't want nobody wearing my bag with no champion sneakers, bro. I'm sorry, it's not happening. Like I'm not reposting your stuff. I'm so sorry. You can buy from me, but if you tag my stuff with some champion shoes, like champion sneakers, bro, I will scroll right past it. I'm so sorry.
That's tough.
So whoever watches this, I'm just letting you know that right now. If you're gonna wear my stuff, wear it to the best of your ability, please. Cause I take pride in my stuff, and I want you to take pride in my stuff as well too. So please don't embarrass me like that.
I like
but
bad at it.
I feel like my target audience would be. That's a hard question, bro.
So, all right, so don't even look at it from like what they would wear with the fit, right? I wasn't even saying it from that perspective. I just meant like
what crowd? Like what crowd, right?
Yeah, like is there an even deeper message behind just all right, yo, this looks fly, so I'm gonna buy it? Is there like this is for the people that went through this. This is for the people that's trying to achieve this kind of thing.
I mean, I designed for Black folks, so that's just what it is.
No, I won't say I was trying to beat around the bush on that.
No. You know I don't beat around the bush when it comes to that. No. Black folks 100%. Black folks 100%. Yo, it sounds so crazy. Like, say I had one hoodie left, and it was on say like it was 300. And say I got two people right here. I got a white dude saying, yo, I'll give you 300 for it. Then I got a black dude that's like, yo, all I got is 250. All right, 250, I'm taking. I ain't gonna hold you. And it's not because I just feel because it's having that support from people that look like you, bro, it's amazing. It feels good. Because the thing is, we don't support each other enough, man. We're always in competition with each other. We're always in competition. We're the most critical of Black-owned businesses. Like for me, like I'm against like exposing Black-owned businesses, to be honest. Like if you go to a Black-owned business and you didn't get the best support, you could tell people around you, but don't be on social media doing that. Because at the end of the day, it's still Black-owned, bro. Like we know the struggle that it took for them to even get that spot. You know what I'm saying? So for you to sit here and slander them is weird to me. I never really understood that. So I don't know, man. I just feel like we always in competition. We're also critical of ourselves, man. We never really embrace Black-owned businesses. We didn't really start really embracing Black-owned businesses until people started getting killed in the street by police officers, bro. That's now everybody want to be support Black-owned, which is good. But yo, like, let's not do that just because it's trendy. Let's do it because we actually believe in it. Support that. Like my goal is like literally by the end of 2022, I'm taking all my money out and putting it in the Black-owned banks. I'm going to do my research, Black-owned banks, and put them there. Like that's what I really want. I want to support anything I do, Black-owned. If I get work done on a potential house, I get Black-owned business, Black landscape, all that. Like I believe how important it is, man. And I feel like a lot of the support that we get are from Black people. So we have individuals, who are Black that are not supporting Black-owned businesses. How are we supposed to grow? So I don't know, man. I feel like there's a stigma behind Black-owned businesses that we're lazy, we're not professional, and I'm just trying to change that, man. So whatever support I get from Black people in general, I'm gonna embrace it a lot more. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's real. And it's so crazy that you say that because I've been thinking to myself, like when folks wear like designer brand stuff, like I always say, I'm not nobody pocket. You wear what you want, But like you got to ask yourself, or just think. I think sometimes it's like you got money to buy or to support those big name brands. When was the last time you spent money towards a Black-owned business? I don't know how much the sneakers and the shirts and all that stuff costs. But let's say I'll just throw a number. If a long sleeve tee or whatever from a designer brand was $1,000, and a Black person were to spend it on that without hesitating,
right?
But will damn near lose their mind to spend $50 on a Black-owned business's hoodie. And even, I mean, obviously the numbers can always be adjusted, whatever. But just the thought of how we won't even hesitate. We won't even think twice. Hell, some people might feel like they need to get that $1,000 long sleeve t-shirt. But the minute it's someone that you know on top of that, it's not just a random black man that you just buy from just because they're black. Someone that you know. It's like when you do the neck scratching, it's like, I don't know. Like, to me, I get the idea of like certain people just not wanting to spend money. That's one thing. All right, cool. Like I said, you spend money how you want, but don't sit here and spend racks on something else and then not even be able to give up $100 bill to your partner. That's contradicting. That's disrespectful.
But you know what it is for me too, though. I'm 75% with you. The other 25% I can get to a certain extent. And let me tell you why. I buy clothes for quality. I don't give a damn what the name is. I buy clothes for quality, right? When I first started shopping and actually being able to spend my money on things that were a little pricey, I noticed there weren't really a lot of black-owned businesses that can produce the certain shoe that I like. A lot of shoes I have are made out of Italy. There's not a lot of black-owned businesses that have handcrafted shoes. That became a thing that I've been exposed to in the past couple of years. So now it's totally different. Now it was like, all right, cool. Like, now I can support because now there's more black luxury brands. But before there really wasn't. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, for me, like I said, I look into quality. Like, and I'm not slandering nobody that does this, but if you're gonna call yourself a designer, owe it to yourself to actually believe in what you're producing. Why do you have a t-shirt and it says Gildan on the back? Replace that with your tag. You know what I'm saying? Like, look into the heavy duty cotton. Why is it so flimsy? You know what I'm saying? So I look into that shit, bro. Like, that's what it is. So if I have to spend $150 on a shirt from Balenciaga or Prada, whatever the case may be, because the quality is a little better, I will do that because I like quality. I like my clothes to last. Perfect example, right? Like, people come to me like, yo, bro, like, I'm trying to dive into a different avenue when it comes to shoes. I'm like, all right, cool. What's your budget? Oh, I'm only trying to spend 75, 100. All right, we're trying to get shoes for a weekend. Because what you're going to do is go to Forever 21 or H&M and buy some Chelsea boots. Some shit's going to fold. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't take shit like that. Like, you can't take care of shit like that, bro.
But you know what, though, I'll say is that you mentioned a very important word here, and you mentioned quality. And even hearing you say all of this, one, you know what you're talking about. And two, there is a reason as to why you are spending your money in those places. That's why I said, by all means, people spend money where they want. If you can explain why you're doing it, I'm not mad. Because one thing that we won't talk about, and I ain't never slammed no black-owned business, but the fact of the matter is, I don't care where I spend my money. I want quality in return. Right. So if people spending mad bread in these high-end places, and it's a guaranteed quality return, hey, cool. Right. But that should be the reason. I feel like a lot of people are just doing it because of the name. Now, if someone like you could tell me the story behind, the texture, if you will, of a shirt, or how well a boot fits, you got it. Right. You got it. You've done your research. You're well informed in that area. But some tells me, Herb, that there ain't too many brothers like you that can sit down and talk like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't too many partners out here that can say, you know what, well, this brand was made, in this year. This is why. That's not. I don't think. I could be completely wrong, but I don't think that's why people are buying these.
Not is you're actually completely right, and that's why I told you at the beginning. Remember, I told you it's either story or validation from other people. Like, once you see, like, I give you a perfect example, right? I'm trying to think. So I'll put you like this, right? So say, hypothetically speaking, like, say you were somebody that was like, you know what, Herb, I don't like your stuff. All right, cool, whatever. Then let's say 2 weeks from now or a month from now, this is not even realistic, but let's say ASAP Rocky or somebody wearing my shit. You gonna hit me up talking about, yo, I'm trying to get my I need that hoodie. But that's how life works, man. And that's why, like, fashion now, like, for me, is important. And I look into how things are made. I looked into the production. I look way beyond just the name of shit, but other people don't. So but being a designer, there's no such thing as you being an introverted designer. There's no such thing as you being able not to network. Like, you have to be able to do that if you want to make money. You have to, because if people are not wearing it, bro, validated people at that, then there's nothing you can really do.
Or you know what? Or worst case scenario, you either hire someone to handle that for you.
Yes. But
that's another
the
area
hard
too.
part about that is you got to have money.
Well, yeah.
You got to have a lot of money for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's like, if someone were an introvert, or just business in general, you got to realize you're not gonna be good at everything, right?
Yeah.
And that's just anyone. That's just a fact. Ain't nobody good at every piece of the business. So you're gonna have to choose whether you want to save money or spend a little to hire people and look at the bigger picture. Now, when you hire people, it's probably important too. But ultimately, just the idea of marketing and all these big name brands, I think, do a fantastic job. But that's crazy that you say that, though. It's like, if a celebrity was wearing it, then all of a sudden it's the greatest thing in the world. This is the world we live in, though, man.
It is, bro. And I think, like, for me, like, my niche is designing. Like, I wish it could just be so simple. I design and my product speaks for itself. But unfortunately, it's not like that. So when I do, because it's not if I do, when I do get the capital, bro, I'm hiring a team, bro. Like, a team. What I mean by a team, like a team. Like, yo, you're going to be the photographer. This is what I need you to do. And we're going to be under contract. So it ain't going to be like, I want you to still do your business and stuff like that. But, I'm going to have you under contract as well. Like, yo, anytime I need you, if you can be available, this is how much I'm paying you. And it's going to be worth it. Like, whatever your rate is, if you charge $500 for other people, I'm paying you $1,000, because now you mean something to my brand. You mean something to my brand. I'm going to respect your craft. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm going to get a marketer. I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that, so that I can just focus on just designing. Yeah. I'm not going to try to, like, and I feel like a lot of times people try to lowball people. And I feel like that's what hurts people the most. Like, yo, if you up and coming, you got to be willing to spend that money, bro. Because when you up and coming, ain't nobody excited to do nothing for you. Like, imagine me talking about, yo, I want to hire you as my photographer, bro. But yeah, I'm only going to pay you this. I'm like, okay. Well, I mean, no. Like, who are you to say? No. But say it's like Versace is somebody that hits a photographer and they be like, yo, we going to pay you this much. Even though it's a low ball to a certain extent, they be like, well, you can give me some exposure. So, I just try to, like, respect people's craft as much as I want them to respect mine. So I'm gonna get to a point where I can actually have a team, man. Like, I'm gonna value my team, and they're gonna still be able to be free to do whatever they want. I'm not gonna have nobody in a no dumb coat or nothing like that. Like, when I say team, it's like, you are the people that I go to when I need things done, but you also have your own life as well too. You know what I'm saying? So
for sure, you're not gonna have nobody on no leash.
Nah.
And that's the way it should be, to be honest. Right. So what would you say your plan is with your business overall? You don't gotta say 5 year, 10 year, 20 year, but just overall, where you see this going. Because the reason why I asked that is because I'll just be open and honest with you.
Yeah.
There's always a lot of motivation and inspiration early on.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's one thing that I've noticed, is that people will share and all that in the beginning, and even internally. It's always like, yeah, I got this dope idea. And now, like, as you make the necessary steps, what would you say for you is the overall top of the mountain play?
My main goal for my business is I'll probably say for it to be my number one priority, because it's not right now. And I feel like a lot of times, like, when you have a business, some people forget that you are you first. Some people forget that, life happens. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I haven't been able to be 100%. I think where I want my business to go is to where I can make enough income to where I'm only living off of it. To the point where I could be financially free, actually be able to do things I want to do through my business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be the person that has a main job and then struggling with this business on the side for 10 years, because what benefit is that? I want to be able to get to a point where my business is my number one priority, number one money maker. So however that happens, we're gonna figure that out. But I feel like what's gonna lead me there is just me being consistent, coming home every day. Every day I come home, I design something. I don't care
Mm,
what it is. I work on a sketch every single day. And the reason why I do that is so that I can keep my mind like warm.
mm,
Because when you take a break for a while, you run into creator's block. That's when you lose motivation. Because then you be like, yo, what's the purpose of even doing this? I've been so content with not doing it. I don't want to get to that point. So I feel like my goal within the next 2 years is for me to be able to prioritize that first before anything. I want that to be my main source of income.
have you reached creator's block before? And if so, how would you deal with it?
Yeah, I actually, fun fact, I used to be a writer, bro. I
Mm,
used to write. Like I was a poet
okay.
like 3 years ago, bro. And I was actually pretty dope. And I was actually working on this book. And I think with the writing was more just I didn't know how to write about happiness.
Mm,
So when I wasn't happy, everything worked well. When I was happy, I was like, well, I have nothing to write about. And I feel like with my brand specifically with fashion, I think what stopped me from, well, what got me out of my creator's block was more just like not comparing my brand to nobody else.
mm,
So what got me to it was like, yo, I'm sketching something. And the first thing I think, yo, will anybody wear this? And it'll kind of discourage me a little bit. Or if I design something, I'd be like, yo, can the manufacturer actually put this together?
mm.
And I'd be like, nah, this is stupid. Scrap it up, throw it away. But now it's just more like whatever comes to my mind, I write it down. Whether it looks stupid at first or not, I write it down. I write it down, I sketch it real quick. And if it don't look the way I wanted to, I'll just come back to it the next day. But I kind of just, it's about having the confidence. I think confidence is the biggest piece. Like,
Mm.
not to be arrogant or anything like that, but I literally feel like I'm nice at this. Like this is what I was built to do.
Mm.
Um, I feel like I'm just as good as the next person. I don't care whether you are a luxury brand that everybody wears your shit or whether you a local designer. Like I feel like I'm on top. And I feel like I don't need money to validate that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
with that confidence, man, like whenever I run into creators block, it's like it's all right. It is what it is. 'Cause if I like it, somebody else is gonna like it.
Facts.
And even if they don't, the way I wear it is gonna make them want to buy it. So that's just what it is.
And so it sounds as if you hit a point where you've found your passion and have been able to use it in a way to bring service, right?
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of people are, like have hobbies,
Mhm.
they enjoy doing certain things. But do you feel that you've now hit a place in your life where like yeah, this is it. This is this is what's going to get me over the hump, or this is what's going to be mine forever, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I probably say like I'm like 95% there.
Mm,
I'm like 95% there. I
yeah.
wasn't like that for the longest time, but I feel like it's hard because like at times, like when you tell people you're a designer, they look at you kind of crazy, like, yo, this is what you want to do. But it's like,
Mm,
bro, that's all I think about, bro. Like when I'm at work, I be like, I can't wait to go home and sketch this. And I'm like, if I'm at work thinking about this, if I'm dreaming about where I'm gonna be with this brand, like that's only God telling me something.
yeah.
So
Keep
utilize
going.
it, take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying?
Going.
So that's just what it is, man. I look into all signs of it. I think about it like 75% of the time.
Mm,
So that's pretty much it.
that's real. And I guarantee you, like obviously I know you think about your brand often, but I guarantee you there are people that are following your journey and
Mm.
not just rooting for you,
Right.
but are using you as a source of inspiration, you know?
It's actually funny you say that. It actually took other people to speak that into me for me to believe it, bro.
Mm, it's
Like I'm
real.
not gonna lie, this was the most humbling thing. One of my boys, older dude, he called me one random day and we just talking. And he was like, bro, like, you're not doing enough.
Mm,
And for me, it's like I'm not really. I used to be defensive. I'm not as defensive no more. But I feel like if you can tell me that you're saying it because you care.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, what you mean? He's like, bro, like you're elite, and you the only person that don't see that. And once he said that, bro, it was like, if he could see me like this, and he's not even with me 24/7. I gotta actually believe it. Like he puts me here. there's no reason why I should be putting myself here. I gotta think I'm the shit before anybody.
I have to.
You know what I'm saying? So once he told me that, it was. I think that's what really turned it on for me, because he's somebody that is honest and blunt. Like if you suck at something, he gonna tell you, and that's just what it is. But when he told me like, yo, like you got so much potential that you don't see yourself, man. It took me. I was thinking about it for like a week. So once I'm thinking about something for a week, I was like, all right, you know what? Like, let me take a step back, let me reflect, and let me actually figure out what it is I want to do with this. Because not only do I not want to be a disappointment to myself, I also don't want to be that person that everybody's like, yo, this dude had mad potential, but he kind of just didn't take advantage of it.
And we talk about that with athletes, but
Exactly.
that's possible for creatives too.
Exactly, bro.
That's possible for all types of industries. You got all the gifts, God has given you. Don't waste it.
Don't waste it.
Don't waste it. Do not waste it, man, because there are people who wish they had it. So do not waste it. But that's
and I don't want to be that person to have that midlife crisis when I'm 40. Now I got kids, so I can't allocate my money to it.
And now you're looking at them. You blame them. Oh, nah.
Yeah, like exactly my point, man. Now I'm trying to get my son to be a designer because I never been successful. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be that person, man. So
yeah, but that's good though, man. That, like I said, you head in the right direction. And so one last question that I'll leave you with is a question that I ask everyone as we come to a conclusion of our show. How do you want to be remembered?
To who specifically?
See, well, I laugh because we in a couple, we got some episodes in now, and I don't think that everyone has given like a straight up answer off that question. It's either been some sort of follow up, or like, let me think, or like, oh damn. every other question I've asked on here to you and everyone else is, cool. But that question is like a damn. Let's think. All right. So to answer your question though, to who? To you. I could say the world, right? But how do you want to be remembered?
You can't. Let me see why it's a hard question.
My fault. Sorry.
Because how I want to be remembered, I'm gonna be that person.
You an answer. That's what I should have did. I said I should have never answered your question just now. I should never gave you like extra wiggle room. How do you want to be remembered?
How I want to be remembered to myself.
You can add that if you want. How do you want to be remembered?
I'm gonna answer multiple ones. How I want to be remembered for myself. A hardworking man. Somebody that put 100% to everything he pursued. I don't really care to be a legend to nobody. I don't really care about that because with being a legend, somebody always got some negative shit to say about you. So I'm all set with that. How I want to be remembered to my family. Loving, vulnerable, successful for like the younger generation. How I want to be remembered by my friends. Same thing. Loving, vulnerable. To my wife. Willing. Like I'm not the best man, but I'm a willing man. I'm a trying man. So, that's how I want to be remembered. But overall, man, like I'm not a perfect dude, but as long as everybody knows that I was trying to be better for them, that's all I care about. I know it's not really the money part of it, but
no, listen,
that's just in general.
Listen, like this show is kind of based on financial literacy and highlighting young Black successful entrepreneurs, all that. But the title, the purpose is in the title, right? Define your legacy, right? So it's deeper than money, right? Because as we all know, when you pass away, currency, feel me, that's not going with you. Right. But your legacy, that's gonna always be there. So that question isn't even designed to be like, all right, I want this amount of businesses, I want this amount of properties. That is literally when it's all said and done, what are people going to be able to say about me? Not necessarily saying that you care about opinions.
Right.
I mean, it's like, damn, was I an asshole?
Right.
Like, did I improve the lives of others around me?
Yeah.
Can people say that they learned something from me? Was I an inspiration to the people in my household? Did I piece up old beefs? So that, bro, don't even worry about a finance thing. That was literally
I was trying to figure out how to tie it into that, but
oh no, you good, man. That was a perfect answer, man.
gotcha.
But one thing I will say too is if you could just drop your socials, where people can find you, your business, all that. Plug it in. Use your chance to, run wild with all that so people could, locate, purchase, cop, all that.
Gotcha. My Twitter, y'all not gonna know about that. My Instagram is Herblew, HERBLEW __. And then my brand, my business page is LEWPERRY __.
Bet. Well, there you have it, man. Again, appreciate you for pulling up for the episode, man. I think it was definitely a great one, but I wanted to, give you your flowers on everything that you got going on and everything like that, man. So much respect and salute.
I appreciate it. Anytime you want me to come back and talk about anything, let me know.
Oh, Dev. You already know this, but I want the first episode to be, about you and, your business, very, very wholesome, respectable episode. But,
I got one more thing to say though.
Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
I ain't gonna say it because legally I can't. But anytime you want to argue about that one thing we was talking about, let me know. Let me know because I've been trying to I told everybody my vision on things, and I was completely right about everything I said. But I'm gonna let it rock though.
Bet.
Let it rock.
Oh, I wish I could go crazy right now.
But I'm gonna let it rock. But whenever you're ready to have that conversation, let me know, man.
No, I got you for sure. We gonna have that dialogue.
All right.
But yeah, man, is there any last thing you want to say, any last words, whatever, before we conclude, wrap up?
Nah, man, just thanks for the opportunity, man. I feel like, I've been watching you as well too. Like I like what you're doing. Like you active. You always active, no matter what it is. And I know like people probably just see it as like, oh, he just talking and recording it. No, it's so much more to that, bro.
Yeah.
Like even the way your interview techniques, all that type of stuff, man, that's not something that you can just do. That's a talent. That's a practice. So keep working. You're already on the big stage, but you're gonna be on the bigger stage, man. So
appreciate that, man. Appreciate it, bro. But yeah, man, so yeah, that wraps up this episode of Define Legacy, man. Gems were dropped. Appreciate you for pulling up, man. Yeah. So I'll at you, bro.
All right, man. I hate you.